Hey there, Two Lane Westers, coming at you with a day 19 end of the day recap. It is the evening of day 19 versus the morning, as I've been doing this lately. Uh, this morning I started in Valdez and ended up in Tok, TOK. Total miles on the day were 259. Total for the trip is 6580. Um, Weather today was very good. Low, I would say low 60s. It dropped down a little bit when I went in some elevation areas, but not too bad. Mostly sunny the whole day until the end of the day, where I was kind of had some storm clouds chasing me, and it rained a little bit. I didn't even bother. Like again the other day, I didn't even bother putting my rain gear on. I could see that I was just a one cloud. I'd get through it, and then on the other side, by the time I got to the other side, it didn't take long, and I was dried off, and then it happened again, and I dried off again. So, not a big deal. It's the way you roll. Um, the road. So in the morning, I had to backtrack out of Valdez. There's only one way in and out of that town. So great road. Up over the pass through the well, I guess the canyons first. You go through the canyon, got the opposite direction view of Bridal Veil Falls and Horsetail Falls. They're pretty close together, so when you're actually coming up, you see Horsetail Falls on the left, and then the road turns, kind of does a little S turn, and you can see Bridal Veil Falls. So that was actually kind of cool to see it that way. I didn't stop to take a picture because I stopped yesterday. Um, but different view and kind of a different experience. That was kind of neat. And then up over the pass, it was overcast in Valdez, so mostly cloud cover. Once I got up in the pass, up in elevation, it we were in the clouds, so it was like fog. Couldn't really see more than 30 yards in front of you, so had to slow down. There was other cars traveling there, so just took your time and got through it. Probably a good couple miles of that fog. Pretty intense, actually, but got through it, and then over the pass, all of a sudden you kind of start coming down, and then you get out of the clouds and out of that fog cloud stuff, whatever, and then you everything was fine. Um, got back up to Glen Allen. That was about halfway. Stopped for a break there. Got a coffee. Got some gas. I needed a break at that point, so that was good. And then got on a different road. It's called the Tok Cutoff. It basically cuts off on an angle straight over to Tok. Well, the other thing about that road is it runs along the Wrangell Ellis National Park. Um, I'm pretty sure that that's the largest national park in the world. It's 600 million acres or something. I probably don't have that right, but something crazy like that. The Wrangell Mountain is part of that, but somebody told me there's a whole bunch of glaciers and a whole bunch of 14,000 foot mountains in there. If you actually go in there, um, the I chose not to go in there just because there's like one road in and one road out, and it would have been a whole day basically to explore that, and I just chose not to do that. But the views of that mountain range and running alongside of it were pretty cool with the clouds today. The road was kind of reminded me a little bit more of like out west in Montana, where you get the big views and you're kind of running along a ridge or whatever. And with the clouds today, it was pretty cool, kind of magical. So that was good. Um, Overall, though, I mean, it was like 259 miles. Is that what I said? Yeah. Pretty easy day. I rolled into Tok at about 3 o'clock, and I had a decision to make on press forward or stop for the night, and I decided to stop. Basically, it's another 100 miles to the Canadian border, and there's not a lot out there. So I would have had to go like another 200 miles to get to some place to sleep or whatever. And I just at that point in the day I was like, I got knocked off 260 or 259. That'll be good enough for today, and then tomorrow I'll have like a 400-mile day to get all the way over to Whitehorse. More on that in a minute. Um, Animals. I saw one moose today. I caught something out of the corner of my eye. I glanced over, and the road was kind of elevated, and down on the left side there was a pond, and there was a moose walking in the pond. So I hit the brakes pretty quick, turned around, pulled over on that side of the road, get my camera out. I started recording for quite a while. Watched that moose. He was looking at me, and then he wasn't sure what I was doing, and then he kind of realized that I wasn't going to do anything, so he kind of went about his business and was walking around on a pond, and then he decided to walk back in the woods. I looked down on my camera. I'm not recording. So I screwed that up. My bad. That would have been a really good one. So one moose on the day from animals. I think I've said this a couple days now. I really haven't seen a lot of animals in Alaska. I know they're here. I just think it's the every road. It's not like there's bumper to bumper traffic on these roads, but there's a constant flow of cars. There's a lot of people up here for the summer, vacationing or whatever, doing what I'm doing. So every road I've been on has cars on it, and I probably it's just scaring the animals away. Um, my plans going forward are going to take me back onto the Alaska Highway, a section that I didn't do because when I went up to Dawson City, I got it off the Alaskan Highway. So that little section between Tok and Whitehorse, I didn't do, and I'm expecting there to be quite a bit of animals and wildlife along the way. So that's hopefully that's how that works out. I haven't seen a caribou. I need to see more bears, and I haven't seen any mountain goats. I think would be the things that are still on the list. I haven't seen a bull moose either. That'd be pretty cool to see one of them. I've seen a lot of moose, but not a bull. Um, I posted a picture of this RV that was at a gas station here in Tok. I think it was here. Anyway, that thing was huge. It barely fit under the canopy above the pumps. I've seen those things online, but I've never seen one in person. It's a Mercedes Benz. I think they call them Unimogs, or maybe this one was a Tago. I think is what the badge on the front of it says. I do know that they are typically owned by like Europeans. They will ship them over here to the States or North America, whatever, and they live in them for 3 years while they're traveling all over the place. They're four-wheel drive, they're heavy duty, they're monster vehicles. I would like to see the inside of one, but but man, that thing was just sitting there huge, and the woman was trying to clean off the front window with the bugs and whatnot. But um, I would venture to say they're extremely expensive too, custom built kind of things. But that was kind of cool seeing that. Just a observation along the way today. Um, so I'm back to Tok. Tok was well, Chicken, Alaska was the first town I came to when I crossed over the border, and then Tok is right after that. So Tok is sort of the beginning and the end of the Alaska loop that I've been on. I went from Tok to Fairbanks to the Arctic Circle, back to Tok, sorry, back to Fairbanks. From Fairbanks, I did the Denali Highway from Paxson to Cantwell, and then up to the Denali National Park. Then down through Anchorage, down the Kenai Peninsula to Homer, back up over to Seward, back up over to Valdez, actually back up through Anchorage over to Valdez, and then from Valdez up to Tok. If you look at a map, it's a big kind of counterclockwise loop that I went in, and really was able to see a lot of Alaska. I'm moving every day, not digging in and staying in places for multiple days or anything like that. But I saw a lot of Alaska. I went through Anchorage twice. Nothing there. It's a big city. I don't think Anchorage has really got anything that interests me too much. I would say right now my thoughts on. I liked Fairbanks for some reason. It's a smaller big city. It's kind of got a cool vibe to it. Um, I really liked Homer and I really liked Valdez. Seward was meh, just meh. It's a town. Um, the one thing I don't remember if I mentioned this or not in Seward, there's a lot of people that coming and going from Seward. It's let's be like a gateway type town, and there's all these people walking around on the streets dragging a suitcase behind them, like they got off a cruise ship and they got to walk over to the train station, or they took the train down from Anchorage and then they're walking to their hotel. Whatever it was like it was just weird. Like everybody's walking around with suitcases. So I don't know. Wasn't my jam, not my vibe. So don't need to go back to Seward again. Um, so the end of the loop. So what does that mean? So the first 10-ish days were getting to Alaska. The last 10 days ish, 9 days, were looping around Alaska. And now the last section of my journey here is going to be back through the Yukon and British Columbia. And right now, the plan is to go into Washington and then head east along the uh, uh, Washington, Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, depends on which way I go, and then Minnesota and home to Wisconsin. Um, I'm looking forward to this next section. There's a couple of things that I have planned that are big items. There's a glacier that is going to be really cool. Um, I'm hoping my wildlife sightings go up again. It's going to be more remote, like the Yukon and the northern British Columbia were very remote compared to Alaska. And I'm taking a different route. I'm going to get off the Alaska Highway around Watson Lake, and I'm going to take even a more remote road that heads down through British Columbia. So, looking forward to that. I think it'll be yet a different experience on this whole trip. So we're kind of at that turning point, end of phase 2, moving into phase 3. Tomorrow I'm going to get up early. It's about 8:39 p.m. here right now. I've been here, like I said, since 3. I'm staying in a really nice cabin. I should take a little video of this cabin. I'm kind of liking the cabins versus hotel motel. They're a little more like you got your own little space. This one has a bathroom, whereas the one I stayed in the other day, the bathroom actually was outside. Um, Not that expensive. It's cheaper than some of the hotels that I've been staying in, and it's more comfortable than camping. So I might keep rolling with this. Um, I will take a video of this when I get off this part of this video, so that you can see it. I'll walk around. There's like 6 of them here in this little place, and that's all it is. 6 cabins, and the people's home, their log home, is on the other side of the property. So a little side gig or whatever for them. So tomorrow I'm going to be back on the Alaska Highway from Tok to Whitehorse. That's the first leg, and then the day after that I'll go from Whitehorse to Watson Lake, and then I'll be getting off the Alaska Highway after that. The section tomorrow, everybody talks about how terrible the road is. The frost heaves, the potholes, the gravel, the construction. I had a guy talking to me over dinner here, and he was telling me that he hit. They have everything marked when there's a big bump or a big bad section. Everything's marked pretty good. Well, this one, they marked something, and then he sped up to 50, 60 miles an hour, and then there was a bridge. And he said it was a 7-inch lip on the bridge. And he hit that going 50 miles an hour, and he broke a U-joint on his truck, and he's had to get his truck towed, and they were having all kinds of problems. Um, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm gonna just take my time. I got to get 400 miles done, but that's why I'm gonna leave early. So I got all day to get that done. There's supposed to be some really awesome big mountains and lakes along this route. I don't know if I'm gonna pronounce it right, but it's called Kluane or Clune, Kluane, Kluane Lake. And there's a town called Destruction Bay, and the Destruction Bay area is the part that's famous for the bad roads. So it's about 100 miles of 190 miles to the border, and then I'm just going to do it in like 100-mile chunks. Um, Probably get gas as much as I can because I got to make sure I don't run out of gas. So that's tomorrow, another challenging day, but going to be awesome, awesome scenery. Hopefully, I see some animals, like I said a couple times already. And that's it. I think that is all I got for you. I didn't really meet anybody other than the couple who were telling me about their woes with their car. I guess I met a couple guys from Argentina. They rolled up on some Yamaha adventure bikes, and they were asking me about my Harley, but they didn't speak very good English, and the communication we were struggling, so I didn't get a whole lot out of them. Other than that, they flew to Los Angeles and rented the bikes and are riding up all the way up, kind of doing what I did, a big loop around Alaska. Older guys, older than me. So this motorcycle, it's a thing. People do it. I'm not the only one doing this. Anyway, I think that's all I got for everybody. I will drop off here, do a little quick walk around of the cabin here so you can see what that's like. And then I'll post videos tomorrow when I can. Over and out. Later.